Hey, welcome back to the channel. This is Grandpa's channel, and we're going to be talking today about USB hubs. Why one type of USB hub works better for you than others. Why some which are switching and powered are better than standard hubs. I'm sure you have questions about this. We're going to get into it in detail. Please give us a like, share, and subscribe. You can support the channel by giving us a thank you button or becoming a Patreon member. Let's get into the Shay Show right now. As you can probably realize that some are switched, some are not, some are powered, some are not. What is the major difference? But why do you particularly want one versus the other is the question that I'm going to answer for you today. And the reason that is that when you're using multiple devices and you want to leave them plugged in, you have a limited bandwidth. And what is bandwidth? I explained this in my video on how to connect multiple webcams up to your computer, because sometimes you'll notice that if you plug more than two webcams or two at a time, you'll notice that all of a sudden one won't work or won't switch or won't do something. So one of the reasons you'll be using something like this, like I said, is the one hub. You'll plug it in and it has 3 USB ports, and maybe it has an HDMI connector in there, or maybe it has an Ethernet connector. The main difference is, of course, is that something like that, the one on the right, you're going to put up your mouse, your keyboard, and something else, but not major drive on the chip. Now, the one on the left you're going to be using, you can plug a lot of devices in there because it's powered. It has a charging port on it. Let's look at that on my desk. Now, let me say to you right now that this is not a sponsored video, but I do happen to promote Benify products mainly because I like them. And the Benify was nice enough to send me over a couple to test and look at and review for their purposes and mine. But I don't get paid from Benify to talk about their products. So let's look at this. Again, we look at, let's say, a simple USB hub. It's got 3 ports. It can be, and I love about Benify is they built in the USB-C and the USB 3.0. So all you have to do is pull this out and you have a USB connector. So depending upon what you want to use it for and how to connect it, it's right there. But like I said, sometimes you need to be able to turn off the individual devices. Now this one here from Benify comes with its own power adapter, 45 watts with 2 connectors on it. And it comes with the cable that goes into it. Now, same thing, it has a nice long cable, and again, the USB 3.0, and you pull it out and you get a USB-C port. Now, one of the reasons I like about this is, one, it has the charging port, which is powered by this block here. And when you turn it on, you could charge your phone, you could charge your tablet, or charge any device that you happen to want to charge. But these other ones, you can connect up to 7 devices. So, let's say in this you have 3 webcams and you happen to have some earphones and all kinds of different things, but you don't use them all at the same time. So what you can do is turn them off, and the light will go off, and then now that device is not being connected to the computer in any way, shape, or form. So let's say you have 3 of these and you happen to have 3 webcams. The reason you would do it, you turn off, let's say, the 3rd webcam. Now you're using these 2 webcams. Now you decide the next part of your video, or whatever you happen to be doing, you're going to want to use that particular video because it has a different view. You turn off the other 2, and now you're able to connect it. Or you may be connecting earphones or a printer or whatever it is, so you can switch easily from one to the other without having to remove the ports again and again. And what's really one of the reasons why you do this is because when you pull this out, each time you remove a USB port and re-put it back in again, it wears on the connections. And some of these connections inside of the computer can wear out and fail. So you don't want that. Now, the bottom line is I have a video which I explain how to hook up 3 or more webcams at the same time. In there I explain what's really happening. You have a controller chip. Older computers, there was 1. On the newer computers, laptops, whatever, there's 2 controller chips. One does your USB-C, one does your USB 3.0. They have a maximum amount of bandwidth. In other words, how much data they can process at the same time. And the reason you need one of these devices is usually webcams can use up to 70% of the bandwidth of a USB port. So what does that mean? That means that you only have 30% left, and if you want to hook up some other device, and if it exceeds the 30%, what you're going to get, very simply, is what's called a bandwidth overrun. You're going to get a message that the bandwidth of this port has been exceeded, or you may not get a port, and you just simply plug in the webcam, and they're like, it doesn't work. Why isn't it working? And you start pulling your hair out and trying to figure out why, and that's why the port itself. So using something like that solves that problem. So this will be great when you're, on the road or a simple connection. But when you want to get serious and you want to plug up a lot of devices, this is the one I would use. I hope this information has been helpful for you. Check out my other videos. Don't forget us to get a like, share, and subscribe. You can support the channel by hitting the thank you button or buying us a cup of coffee or become a Patreon member. We'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to comment. Tell me which one you use and how you like it, and any problems you had with any of these devices. Again, I leave in the links in the description where you can use them. Please use those links. That's how we get paid, because I am an Amazon affiliate. Anyway, thanks for watching. You have a marvelous